Lights, camera, action. Okay, now, how often should you change your oil so you're not wasting money? There's been a bit of discussion on this lately. I think I put a video out saying, well, look, oil prices have doubled, so let's use half the amount of oil. That'll sort them out. And that's what they want anyway, isn't it? So let's not waste oil. This is the thing. And I apologise if I misled you, because all the older vehicles, all the petrols, 5,000k oil changes is the go. By the way, this is as the valve cover came off the engine. We have not touch clean anything to show you the actual evidence inside an engine. What was this again? 350k, whatever I said, something like that. 350 odd thousand Ks. One owner, it's a 2006. We're now in 2023. Oil changes every 10,000 kilometres. It's had the EGR's only been turned off since 40,000 Ks, so it would have been a lot dirtier before that. This is more than enough oil changes, okay? So the evidence is right here in front of us. I'll run through a bit more detail. So if you have, so this one's got the EGR system turned off in the ECU, you know, the computer. It's turned off, so there's no EGR flow. And I've got to say, even with the plate with a 7mm hole, you've got minimal EGR flow, because some people are saying, well, why is that relevant? Well, let's get over here and show you in a bit more detail why, right? So this has never been cleaned, right? So this all happened before 60,000 kilometers as far as those chunks stuck there, right? Because look, at 60,000 Ks, you put that oil tube in, right? The one that's leaking, you might have seen in another video, that goes across there and down and around and wherever it goes down there anyway. It doesn't matter where it goes. I don't recommend that. Just like I don't recommend tunes and turning off your EGR. But look, the fact is, 60,000, let me get it the right way around. 60,000 kilometers you put that tube in, so that's stopped the oil, but you still had all the dry abrasive soot going in your intake like this, which means some of it ends up in your combustion, your inlet, right? So when I say some of it, I'm getting a bit confused, because obviously when it's shut, and the one that goes out the exhaust, because it doesn't all go in there, but everything that goes in here goes into your engine. Now, when it goes into your engine and in the combustion the combustion process, breathe in, intake air, it's got exhaust gases, right? And we all know that the rings can't seal 100%, right? So a small amount of that black soot blows past the rings, goes into your oil. Now, there's a lot of cycles. There's a lot of times that piston goes up and down in 10,000 Ks. Think about it. The cubic capacity from an engine, how much air it's pumping, that is why everything goes black. It's the soot loading in the oil on these engines. I've discussed it and explained it in other videos. I don't waste too much time on it, but you can see this one's clean. It's not sitting on the bolt heads. It's not sitting on the return line. It's not sitting on the clamps of the injectors. Yes, the oil's dark in color, of course, right? Because bloody clean diesels are dark in color, right? That's what I'm saying, right? So this one, I don't know if the oil was done 5,000, 10,000. I haven't looked at that. You want me to have a look at that? Let me see if I can work it out. Hang on. I can only assume it's done about 3,000 or 4,000 Ks, because it's done 353 odd thousand Ks. So if he's done it every 10, pretty well bang on every 10, I'd say. I can assume this oil's done 3,000 or 4,000 Ks, right? Doesn't really matter, because even at 8,000 Ks, it's going to be looking similar. It's got cleaners in it to clean everything in here. So my engine will be even cleaner than this, because I was doing every 5,000 kilometers, right? But what I'm saying is, since oil prices double, and this is for people who are doing high kilometers, like I'm doing, you know, at the moment, probably 1,000 Ks a week or more in any particular one of our 1kds, whatever. If it's sitting around and you're only doing a couple hundred Ks a week, then certainly if it gets to 4, 5, 6 months and you've only done 3 or 4, even change your oil at 4,000 Ks, right? 6 months is also your limit, okay? 10,000 kilometers, oil and filter, or 6 months, whichever comes first. Now, if you get to 6 months and you've only done 5,000 Ks, don't change the oil filter. You're wasting your money. I've discussed that in other videos. It's a complete waste of time. The filter doesn't stop filtering. It's not going to block up. Age doesn't matter. All that matters is how much oil it's pumped through it, and also how dirty the oil is. And as we pointed out, the oil's clean because the EGRs are not happening, if you know what I mean, 7mm or switched off or whatever it is. Most people have got an EGR solution because it cakes up your intake. As you can see, the caking of this one, let's have a look at it again. This all happened under 60,000 Ks because that tube was installed. I'm not saying it's good, but that was installed, which takes any oil that's coming from the crankcase ventilation to the intake out, which means you've just got that dry soot left. So the soot's still there to contaminate your oil. The soot's still there to go in your engine, be dry and abrasive, wear those valve seats down, all that sort of stuff. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We'll check the valve clearances soon. This could be one that's different to all the others, who knows? That's why I say subscribe, turn the bell on. We always see different results on different engines. But this video, it's primarily and really only just to show you, look at the alloy of the head, look in there, right? Of course you're gonna see oil looks black pooling in there. So some people are too fussy, they go, oh, but I just changed mine and it's still black and I wanna flush it, and you will not get this oil, you will not get that oil sitting there clear, okay? It just won't happen. Now, when the oil's just been changed, yes, it's gonna be cleaner, but as long as you're looking at an engine like this that hasn't got any black staining, and those people that watch our injector videos and all our videos like this, whatever the case may be, I've seen thousands inside 1kd engines, and I've seen anything. Now, I've seen my engine when I've done injectors on it, right? I've seen other people's engines that have done 5,000, and literally they look like the engine's done 5,000 Ks. You look in here, like see this has got a slight discoloration. See the color of the alloy where the valve cover sits there, middle of the picture, that line, you know, north-south. See here, it's got a bit of discoloration, nothing wrong with that. But mate, I've seen engines that are still shiny, clean alloy color on the inside because they've had that many oil changes. I mean, some people, oh, they don't do enough Ks, and then in 6 months, in 3,000 Ks, they get oil changes done. It's just out of control. It is wasting oil. Let's save the oil. Let's save the money. It just doesn't need to be done if you have a EGR solution in place. Now, if you've got a standard EGR system, and a lot of people, you can have that if you want. I'm not telling you what to do. I just tell you what works, what doesn't work, what we see. You work it out. If you've got a standard EGR system, like in a 1kd, right, that's got even more flow, and a catch can doesn't stop this problem, the oil is going to be really black. We've demonstrated that on our 1kd, pulling the dipstick out straight after an oil change at every 10,000 Ks, it's done 30,000 Ks, straight after the oil change at 10, 20, 30, whatever, and other vehicles, it's blacker than these at 5 or 10,000 kilometers. It's all got to do with the exhaust gas recirculation, those exhaust gases being in the combustion, it blowing past the rings, soot loading the oil, and maybe that's not even a problem, but I'll tell you what, I don't like the look of it. And of course, clean oil is going to work better. You don't want all that soot going in, all your small oil, you know, in your turbo and stuff like that. You don't want all that going in there, you know, yuck. You just want it clean. Obviously, clean things work better, but this is clean enough. That's the point I'm making. So I hope I've convinced some people to stop doing 5,000 K oil changes. If you're doing heaps of, you find yourself, oh, I'm changing oil every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, every 2 months, every 3 months. Well, you know what? If you change your oil every 2 or 3 months, you need to just leave it in there 10 days, especially if you're doing highway Ks or 100 Ks every time you turn the key. You live out in the country, whatever. Stop wasting your time. You've got other things to do, right? This is perfectly clean enough. One owner. The tube went on at 60,000 Ks. The EGR got shut off at 240. Now we're at 350. 100,000 Ks of cleaning because it would have been dirty. The oil cleans the engine. Don't worry about it. Every 10,000 K. So he's never done more than every 5,000 K. So even if it got dirty, which this would have before 240 K, while the EGR was on, it would have been average at best. But you know, it wouldn't have been too bad. It would have been thick caked up. And all those oil changes without that contamination of the EGR flow. And I'm repeating myself again and again and again because some people got it and they get it and they've seen the other, but some people just aren't getting it yet. They need to go into those playlists, check out the EGR information. Anyway, I think that's about it. Let me know in the comments. Have you switched from doing 5,000 K oil changes to 10,000 K oil changes based on what you've seen here? And you've probably got your kon.com.au 7mm plate for your 1kd-Ftv. Or are you just going to continue wasting oil and wasting money? Let us know because I'm curious to see how smart you are. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, turn the bell on if you want. Hit like if you learnt something or you liked it. Hit like if I save you some money. Catch you on the next video. See ya. Oh, and for the new people that hung around to the end that have got questions, what oil should I use? Oh, no, don't ask me that. I don't care what oil you use, okay? We use the Penrite. What's it called? Diesel 1040. Okay? I don't care if you use 1555 Ford. I don't care if you use Newlon. This vehicle uses some Newlon. Before that, he used something else. I don't care if you use Castrol, Magnatec, whatever. As long as it's around about within that climate range of where you live and, you know, what oil you need for the job. I don't recommend you need to waste money on full synthetic. I recommend you buy oil from the retail auto store when it's on a big special half price. Every now and then they have these crazy specials to get you in the door. Make sure you don't waste your money on other stuff. Just get in the door and get that oil when it's cheap and stock up a bit if you need to, because you're still going to need it every 10,000. And buying it now is probably going to be cheaper than buying it later. I don't think oil's going to get cheaper anytime soon. So there you go. It's all part of the scheme of things is all I'm going to say before we get derated even further. But you might pick up a bit of info from these videos. So it's up to you. Catch you on the next one if you like. Subscribe, turn the bell on like I said or not. Bye, 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 bye. Motor Mouth over and out. See ya.